All right, welcome everybody to the October 30th, 2017 meeting of Kubernetes SIG service catalog. We got a relatively short agenda here today. Since it is so short, I will just run through it. So the first thing on here is that I think that we should have a release retrospective that covers getting to 0.1.0. which we shipped last week. Thank you everybody that contributed to that release, either by making changes or reporting issues or whatever. Thanks a lot. This is a good time to talk about what we thought worked well, what we thought didn't work so well, and what we think we ought to do for 0.2 planning. I don't think that should be right now, but I wanted to bring it up to give people a chance to think about it. I would suggest maybe we do it next Monday. Does anybody object to that? All right. Morgan. Go ahead.
What's the time domain of this?
I would say that so that's a very good question. I think that we can talk about, there's two choices, right? We could go from the epoch until now, or we can go from when we initially released alpha, the first alpha release. I think that it might be more productive to focus initially on the period which I believe really corresponds to around March of this year until present, because we have refined quite a bit since then how we do this work. So I would suggest that we start with that. And if people want to have like a less, what's the word I'm looking for here? A more, just for the sake of discussion, retrospective that goes back to the genesis of this group, I'd be happy to do that too, but I think probably the last 7 months are most relevant. I don't know what other people think about that. Doug, I see your hand is up.
Yeah, for different topics. I'll wait till this one's done.
Okay.
Sounds fine to me. I just wanted to make sure we're all in the same era.
Yeah. Okay. So I hear no objections to next Monday. I will send in a message to the mailing list, letting everybody know, since not all of the central folks that have worked a lot on this are here. Doug, your hand is up.
Yeah, I just wanted to introduce Jonathan. He's coming to us from the Cloud Foundry side of our group, and he's going to be helping out with some Kubernetes stuff. And I thought Service Catalog would be a good place to introduce him to the Kubernetes work without forcing him into the core yet. So Jonathan, I just want to give you a chance to introduce yourself if you want to, or you can stay silent. It's up to you.
I see some familiar faces. I was actually on the OSB call last week. So yeah, he already covered it. I'm moving over from Cloud Foundry, so I've already actually worked with the service broker architecture before in the context of Cloud Foundry. So yeah, it's nice to meet you all.
Nice to have you, Jonathan. So, Jonathan, are you well versed in the behaviors of Cloud Foundry? That seems to be a topic that we frequently have questions about in this group.
Yeah, I was a core contributor to Cloud Foundry for about 3 years. So I've worked on most parts of it. Yeah, so I'm pretty familiar with how it operates. Okay,
awesome. Well, welcome, Jonathan. So next topic is at the top of the agenda doc, there is a link to the face-to-face agenda and topics page. If you are going to be at the face-to-face, please add your topics to the list of proposed ones, and we will eventually, before the meeting, hammer those into an actual agenda so that we don't all come and stare at one another without saying any words, which I doubt would ever happen in this group, but you know, it is a risk. It's a risk.
What's wrong with that?
Well, there's nothing wrong with that, except that we don't have infinity time.
That's true. I like a good stare, though, in silence.
Noted. And that is all that I had on the agenda for today. I would suggest, since the end of November will be on us before we know it, that if you have things that you would like to discuss during the face-to-face, that we try to have a list of proposed topics that is complete by next Monday, so that we can find what we think are the highest priority things to discuss. Aaron, your hand is up.
Yeah, I just wanted to confirm, are we still going to have a face-to-face or the Tuesday before KubeCon as well?
No, that's an interesting question. I haven't thought about that in a while.
Because we did confirm that.
I did create a room for us, but I would need to go back and see what the date for that room is. I think that there's probably plenty of opportunity to find a place for a meeting if on that Tuesday, if the meeting room for the SIG isn't available on that Tuesday. But that is something good to have brought up. I would be personally interested in doing that. So, Aaron, do you want to take the action item well, actually, no, I will take the action item because I think I created the room to find the date of that. To find the date of SIG room at KubeCon and disseminate info.
Aaron, what day?
Sorry, go ahead.
Aaron, what day did you say you thought we were meeting?
So there was a doodle poll, and then we announced Tuesday, December 5th.
Okay, was it going to be an all-day thing or a couple hours? Do you remember what we agreed on?
I have to double check. I think we agreed on afternoon of Tuesday the 5th.
Okay, thank you much.
You're welcome.
All right. I will reconcile that with the date of the SIG room and see if we need to make additional accommodations for places to meet. Okay.
Cool, thank you.
Any other topics to discuss while we're all here together, or can we just get this time back? All right. I hear no other topics, so thanks everybody, and I will talk to you soon on the internet. Gather your thoughts for next Monday, and we will have some form of release retrospective. All righty. See ya.